Hi, I'm Doug, your tech support representative here at Atlantic British, and in this video we're going to discuss a parking aid. Now, parking aid are those little beepers that go off when you either come up too close with the front of the back of your vehicle to another object and they go off, but over time they develop some faults. Now, they can either develop faults on their own, or sometimes you can have a sensor go out because somebody in the last parking lot you were in bumped into your bumper and took the sensor out. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the Hawkeye Diagnostic Tool to show you basically how to get into the system and how to determine where you need to go to get it fixed. Now, what you'll find is when you have a fault with the system, when you start the car, when you put it in reverse, when the system is operating properly, you should get a single beep out of the system, and then your parking aid light will come on and stay on. If it does this, we're going to put it in reverse, and you'll see the light flashing on that button on the dash. Now, this is on an 06 Sport. Location will generally be about the same on an LR3 and a full size, but the result will be the same. You get a flashing light for the parking aid. You can always just turn the system off if the light's annoying. So, what we're going to do is, using the Hawkeye Diagnostic Tool, we're going to plug in and we're going to find out which sensor is giving us a problem. Now, to do so, you will need the Hawkeye Diagnostic Tool, and to get into the body control module to pull those codes, you need the adapter BA5080. And that simply just goes in line with your diagnostic plug connector. Let's try it that way. And then we're going to plug into the diagnostic connector underneath. Okay, we have screen up. And we'll let it scroll through. Now, those of you that aren't familiar with the Hawkeye, this is a diagnostic tool we've carried for a number of years. This is a great tool. If you'd like more information, you can go online on our website, and we have a couple different videos. One is just a general description of our diagnostic tools, and another we have on the actual use of the Hawkeye and some of its capabilities. So with this, what we're going to do is scroll down to Rover Sport, hit our check button. This is going to give us the different model years. This is an 06, so we're going to look at the 06 to 09. And then we're going to scroll down to body. And then we have, here's our choices: climate control, body controller, instruments, lighting control. And then line 6 is parking aid. And we'll hit our check. This is telling me to make sure, this is giving me the cables that I need and the adapter so I can get into the system. And ignition on. And we're going to read DTCs. Now, it's telling me I do have one fault in the system. And that fault is coming from the rear left outer sensor. You have 4 sensors in each bumper, in the front and in the rear. Some early models may have just the 4 in the rear, but this is giving you the location of the one that we're having trouble with. Now, to get to these, you usually will have to remove the bumper cover, either front or rear, and because of all the different variations that are out there, I can't really explain it with one vehicle, but we're going to take the rear bumper off of the Sport and then show you the possibilities and what to look for to see if we have a problem with the sensor or quite possibly a rubbing wire. Alright, so now we have the bumper off, and we're going to show you, this is the left outer sensor. This is what we were getting the fault code on. First thing you want to do is take a look at the wiring. See if there seems to be any rubs. We got a little bit of rust buildup on there, so we're going to take the sheathing off and take a look at that. Also, what you want to do, the connector that's on there just has the one squeeze tab. You'll squeeze that, you'll hear a little click, and then just give it a wiggle and take that off. Take a look at the pins inside the sensor. Take a look at the pins in the connector. Want to make sure nothing is bent, corroded, broken off. We're going to put that aside. Now, what holds these sensors in is an outer cylinder, and you have 3 tabs, one here, and one here, and you're going to spread those out a little bit and get them loosened up away from the sensor. Then we're going to flip this over and then just take a regular straight punch. So we'll just take a regular straight punch and hit that in the center of the sensor with a rubber mallet. That's what your sensor looks like. So we're going to replace the sensor, and then once we get this back together, run the Hawkeye on it again, clear the code, and make sure the system is all fully functional. Alright, so what we've done is we showed you how to remove the sensor from the bumper. The installation just simply lines back up and is slid back in place. Same identification, same orientation as you took the old one out. We put the bumper back on. Again, we use the Sport as an example because all the different vehicles out there are going to have different applications as far as removing rear bumper, front bumper, and whatnot. Just refer to your manuals as far as how to remove the bumper. Now that we've got it back in place, what we're going to essentially do is we're going to make sure and we're going to verify our repair. So, it's stating ignition on. We have that. We're going to read DTCs. And we show that of course that code is still in memory, so we're going to get rid of that. So it has been displayed. We'll go down to clear, hit check. Are you sure? Yes, we are. And we'll turn ignition off, hit check. And it takes about 5 seconds. Turn ignition on. Hit check, and it's been cleared. So it's telling me right now it's not seeing a fault. So just to verify, start it up, give it a minute to idle down, put it in reverse. Our light is on steady, and we got the single beep acknowledging that the system is on, so we're up and running. So we've fixed our parking aid sensors. So, if that little button is beeping at you and you know you have a fault either in the front or the rear, we've shown you how to access the system and diagnose the problem and how to fix it. So when you're ready to fix your parking aid sensors on your any of your LR3, the Sport, the full size, the application's all the same, give a call to any of our knowledgeable salesmen at 1-800-533-2210. And thanks for watching.